We're live, buddy.
How are you? We're here in Rogers to see this wagon with 10 seniors on senior night. We're posted up in the Rogers Activity Center. Adam Hauser standing here in front of me. He's going to be a guest coming up. Gave me a national championship in 02 at the X, which I'm very about to this day.
Is he wearing the ring today, John? Is he wearing the ring?
Are you wearing the ring today? Championship ring. Yeah. He's not. But
zero
so
chance he's wearing it.
Oh wait, I'm gonna tell Elena we're live here too. So give me 1 second. So tell us about this matchup. I got my notes as well, but it sounds like you've watched Rogers play, Pete, about 10 times this year.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's quite a bit. Obviously, they are one of the better teams in the league. Obviously, it's interesting for them, John. They're 3-2 in their last 5. They've lost back-to-back games here coming into this one, coming off a 4-2 loss to Andover and 4-3 to Hill Murray. Their only other loss was a 7-3 number to St. Thomas Academy way back on the 29th of January. Really good hockey team. Dave Brown picked up his 100th win of the season, of his career rather, 6-year career. They're 19-3-1, as you can see. They score like crazy. They've got the state's second leading point getter in Mason Jensen. He trails Henry Lechner of the Academy of Holy Angels. We'll get into those numbers in a little bit. But they score at a frightening pace. Power play is crisp. PK is good. And they're taking on a Chanhassen Storm team. Hold, please. I mean, it's live TV. I'm going to knock in a cough from here to there, but here we go. Chanhassen 7-14-1. They lost almost their entire team last year that finished second in the state tournament. Sean Bloomfield is their coach. He's in his 4th season as the head coach. 65-30-2. They're 2-2-1 though in their last 5. They tied Orono 1-1. They swept Chaska this year. They picked up a win there 5-3 in that rivalry. Had a loss to Shakopee, lost to St. Louis Park, and then they beat Jefferson by a score of 4-1. Goals are a little bit tougher for Bloomfield's team to come by. Their goals against have been a little bit up there as well. But the one thing that you will get from Sean Bloomfield's addition is a team that is very disciplined positionally, and these two teams play a very mature game. Now look at these numbers, John. Mason Jensen just absolutely going straight Christmas tree there. Parker DeShane with 52 helpers on the season. And then you got to go Keaton Weiss. You go all the way down. There's Hauser's kid there from the blue line with his 20 points. But Nolan Geerdes is the real deal on the blue line for Dave Brown's team. Meanwhile, Ryan McPartland has been very good for the Chanhassen Storm. Expects Stefano Carranza to take the pipes here tonight. He has a 3.71 and an 8.92. Wyatt Knott has been the man at 17-3-1 on the season. So there's a look at your matchup stats here for tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. The folks in Rogers said good team, bad week with the 2 losses. So they're looking to really come out flying tonight, I think.
Good team, bad week. I like that. You know, they have a tough close to this season because they've got one more big one on their schedule that they have staring down them as well with Moorhead and Hill Murray. Well, they had the Hill Murray game, but I mean, those are 2. Like, we're not messing around with that schedule for Rogers, not at all.
Look at the victories: Andover, Stillwater, White Bear, Tonka, Wayzata. I mean, they've slayed some dragons. Rogers has never been in the state tournament. Is that correct?
They have never been to the state tournament, and this is a team that is ready to go. The one thing that is making everybody kind of go, whoa, you have these 2 losses in a row. You've got Chan here. You've got Moorhead later. It was Maple Grove's really big statement win against St. Thomas Academy. Now it's coming down to look out. What's going to happen in the playoffs. They're such a well-coached team. And that will be definitely something to deal with there for sure. The man from Let's Play Hockey, it is Brian Zollman. Thanks for joining us here tonight, buddy.
How are you?
How's it going?
Can you hear us? Hello, caller.
Good, the
You're on the
audio's
air.
kind of weird. I got you.
Okay.
So what are we going to expect tonight here? We got a 7-14 Chan team running into a Rogers 19-3 Wagon, 10 seniors.
Well, Chanhassen obviously got one last year, down considerably. Good. They're good. There. I think a lot of people expect them to get to the section. Man, it's loud there.
Hey, hold on, you're muted there. No, we didn't hear you that, whatever you just said.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I was muted, and I had a beautiful statement for you because I'm overmatched. But no, I was saying it's kind of the passing of the ships here. Chan just graduated so many players. That's a real thing.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And Rogers is good. They're stacked. You know, they're loaded with seniors. Can roll 3 lines. D might have the best defenseman in the state in Geardy's. Jensen's a stud.
So you do the Reed Larson Award. Do you think that he's the front runner there?
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely in the top 3. I would think. We haven't sent it out for votes or anything yet, but I would assume he'll be right there at the end.
Let's bring Kinger back in here, see if he's calmed down that room.
I think I'm
John, what do you got?
What, am I too loud with the stadium here?
Oh man, it's like it's ear piercingly loud in there with the crowd.
Oh, I bet I know why. Hold on. Does that help? Did that help?
No.
Oh. Well, you know why? The game hasn't started. Everybody's out in the lobby. What are you going to do?
So during pregame mode, as we like to say, for sure. So, Bryan, what's been going on with you in terms of? I mean, this is like crunch time for the magazine. Let's Play Hockey. What have you got coming down the pipe?
A lot of Ms. Hockey stuff, girls hockey stuff. We just released our semifinalists for the Dory Jones Award this afternoon. Tomorrow we'll release the Ms. Hockey semifinalists, and a lot of covers there. There's a lot of section semifinals going on tonight and tomorrow. Championship games tomorrow and Friday. So lots going on there.
How does that work? Do you go like from 10, then to 5, and then down to your winner? How do you guys sort it into the finalists after these semifinalists?
Yeah, so we get our 10 semifinalists, and then we narrow it down to 5 finalists, and then when they vote on the 5 finalists, that will dictate the winner, the top vote getter. So we got one more round of votes to go, and then we'll know who it is, but I'll be the only one that knows until February 23rd. That's when our Ms. Hockey banquet is. That's when we make the big announcement.
And that's obviously the Sunday after the state championship.
Correct.
Kind of for me, when I go to that every year pretty much, and it's like a really nice conclusion to the season where everybody kind of gets together one last time, and then we go have some great messages and move on to the next season.
Yeah, and we hand out the All-State Awards and Honorable Mention Awards, Coaches Awards. So there's a lot of underclassmen there too who have a lot of high school hockey left to play. Most of the girls up on stage are going to go play college hockey, if not all of them. So it's just a nice way to cap off the season and celebrate girls hockey and kind of the best of the best. And there's some good ones. We got some good ones this year. There's good ones every year, and it's always close too. It's a lot of talent in the state, not just in boys hockey.
Well, it's been really good. The girls, we're seeing them just absolutely just continually increase and get better and better. The competitive games are amazing. We at MNHockeyTv right now have some section semifinals going on right now tonight. We got the 3 AA final tomorrow. We've got a number of them on Thursday and Friday as well. The 2 and the 6 AAs should be amazing. The 8 AA should be a good one too as well. So it's going to lead into a really good state tournament. Now here on the boys' side, I think it's fair to say like we've got so many teams that could say I could win my section. It's not just 1 or 2. In some instances, it's 3 and 4, maybe even 4.5, 5.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at section. Just look at Section 4 AA. Hillbury and Stillwater are both right there, and then you got White Bear Lake as well. 6 AA. I mean, you always expect Edina to come up, right? But you look at the teams there, and there's 3-4 teams. Anyone can come out of there. 2 AA the same. 7 AA is going to be. Look at what Andover's been doing the last month. Can't come.
Well, I mean, 11 and 3 after starting 0-9.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, to me, I think that is the story of the year right there. What's happened to that team, and I'm going to have Mark Manny on our Inside the Bubble show on Sunday. He doesn't know that yet, but we're going to talk about how he turned it around. I mean, it's crazy, We were joking all the time as a group that they're the best 0-9 team we've ever seen. For Rogers, I think they're getting into this world right now where they're going to say, okay, we really want to have a good game here and right the ship. John has something for us. He's raising his hand.
Sorry, I'm already on the air, but I'll probably see you later though. This is going to be I can't do it right now, but yeah.
All right, Ella, do you have the new video in for his hockey yak pick yet? Is that in, Ella?
It's Tuesday Night Lights, our final installment of the season. And we got a big one tonight. We got Rogers against Chan. And we're in Rogers, and I got to make my pregame hockey yak pick. I got to go Rogers. They got the 10 seniors. It's senior night. I've been so angry at Rogers when I'm driving to the cabin. I get stuck in all that traffic, and tonight they pay me back, making me look good. Rogers in a big win. Big win. Let's go.
I love the anger at the traffic, John. Spoken truly on the nose there. That's awesome.
I've been swearing at Rogers for decades, and now they're a hockey juggernaut. Who knew?
Who knew? And it's awesome. It's good for hockey. Have they done the wedding yet? The senior night? Have they done the festivities for the wedding yet?
I don't know, but I know it's a lot quieter out here. Hopefully, I sound relatively normal.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, everybody's in the rink. It looks like a bit of a pageant is happening, but we're getting there. Hey, we do have one more video that might be worth showing. I think Spencer gives a tour of the rink. I think Rogers is a place a lot of hockey fans are still learning about. And so I think maybe we should show that and show what kind of setup they have here.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Lights. We're at Rogers as Chanhassen's here visiting. It's senior night. They got a bunch of baby pictures and stuff here. It's a lively atmosphere, but as good as in the rink, it seems to be even better outside. So let's have a quick look outside. Make our way through the crowds here. There's even a lovely hockey rink vending machine. That's a first. And our lovely setup here. Streaming live, baby. Streaming live. And we're going to go outside into the cold. It's only, I don't know, 1 degree outside, I believe. Hopefully we get let back in. But look what's out here. We got a beautiful outdoor rink, which actually looks pristine. Like, this looks like it was freshly zammed, except for the middle. It's got a little bit of a landing strip in the middle. That's not done. And okay, this is definitely slick. Yep. That's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna have you stop there. Do I want to do the knee slide or the belly slide? Which is gonna be better?
Belly.
Knee slide. All right, knee slide it is. Here we go.
This might be a workers' comp.
This is probably going to hurt. Oh, we're just going to slide on my butt. Woo! Tuesday Night Lights. Let's go.
He is in his happy place, isn't he?
Yeah,
don't know.
he was thrilled to be out there on that rink.
I can tell he never played baseball. That was an ugly slide.
That was not a Joe Mauer figure 4 slide, was it, Bryan?
No.
Not at all. What's
That's all
going
right.
on? Is this some sort of a confetti thing?
I like it. It's like the Super Bowl.
Look at
That was a disco ball, I believe.
Who could? It's amazing how those are translating to that here on our screen.
It almost looks like the Microsoft when you get the animation on there.
I don't remember this pomp and circumstance when I played. Of course, that was 84 years ago. So,
well, mine was 85 years ago, and honestly, like, weren't we all seniors and we were supposed to graduate? I'm bitter about senior night. Had kids that go through it. I'm like, why are we doing this? I think it's more for mom and dad.
Hey, you know why we're doing it? I got an insight into this.
Tell me why.
Last year, Chan beats Rogers 8-0. They got all the seniors. This year, Rogers has all the seniors. You could see a lopsided result the other way. So maybe high school hockey is a grown man's game. High school hockey senior is the key.
Well, you know, the old saying is you win with seniors, right?
Seniors and goaltending. I'm going to say 6-1 Rogers tonight. That's my prediction.
Oh, you're going to keep it out of the running time.
Yeah. Only a chance of that.
I'm going to say 7-1.
So you got running time.
6-1.
Yeah.
That's like the Price is Right going over or under on.
Well, the question is, does senior night, do you have an emotional letdown or do you score like 8 goals?
I don't think there's going to be a letdown. Like I said, they lost 2 last week. They're going to bounce back good tonight.
What do you know about, there's a guy tonight, Keaton Weiss. If he scores 1 point, he has 100 for his high school career. And I guess only 4 guys from Rogers have ever done that. So that's pretty cool, putting up the triple digits in high school.
Yeah, especially for a big AA program, it's tough because you play a tough schedule. You know, you got a lot of Class A kids that, you know, can light it up because they're playing not as tough of a schedule, so they'll have games where they'll put up 5-6. Where you're playing Rogers' schedule, you got to fight for every goal, every assist. So it's impressive.
I think Mr. Hockey is on the ice here tonight, guys, and Mason Jensen. That's my opinion. I think he's the best senior in the state. So I'll be curious to watch and see how he lights it up.
I'm going to pause for the game.
He's usually good for one and one.
Right.
Or maybe a couple. He's usually good for 2-3 points a game. I think he's second in the state right now behind Lechner.
Wow, that was a serious rendition of the anthem. That was that rivaled John Baptiste at the Super Bowl, I think. They are not messing around in Rogers. By the way, the parents are fired up in Rogers. They I mean, the odds of a person just sitting down next to me tonight and just talking during the live stream, I'd say 100%. I mean, we got a turbocharged group of parents here for senior night.
Yeah, it was chaos, wasn't it?
Oh, there's going to be people. Trust me.
It is so placid, so calm in your space now. It's unbelievable. It's almost like you're in the office.
Yeah, this is good, and it looks like the stream is pretty much synced with what's happening here. So
yeah, that's what I was telling you. It's real time. You're gonna probably have a little bit of a delay, but not the longer one like we have sometimes. It just depends upon what we have going on.
Well, I should hit our sponsors as we start this little experiment. Manning Cast coming to high school hockey is brought to you by Cub Foods, the official grocer of the Minnesota Wild. Zollman, you probably didn't know that, but great place to buy all your groceries, as well as Hockey Yak. If you need a coach's jacket, if you need a breakaway vest, if you need merch for your team or for you as an individual, be sure to check out Hockey Yak. And finally, Duke Cannon. If you need your flow to look like a news anchor, or you need that body wash, we got it all. Duke Cannon, another local company. And we're off. So you had 6-1, and what was the other one?
I said 7-1.
7-1. I'm going to go 8-0, a complete negative of last year's game when they lost 8-0. I think you're going to get a senior night explosion.
Well, and you know what? They're going to be ornery having lost 2 straight. They want to end that. You do not want to be stumbling into the playoffs.
No. Hey, Zollman, can you tell us? So I pay pretty good attention to hockey in Minnesota. And my kids are a little older, though, so Rogers emerging on the scene. I know it's right next to Maple Grove, and they've been good at hockey for some time. So when did this Rogers moment start? Did this age group, it sounds like all these guys stayed together. They didn't leave. But when did this happen, this change where Rogers started to become a powerhouse?
You're breaking up, but I think I got just to your question. They're, let's say, make some headway and then they slowly built a solid varsity program. They haven't been able to get out of Section 5 yet. They've had 4 or 5 years, but haven't been able to get through that section. But I think this year they are built to get through there. But like you were saying, there's 1, 2, 3 teams every section. You catch a good night.
Z, you're breaking up big time, buddy.
I wonder, are you wearing AirPods, Z?
No.
That was good right there.
I think you kind of come in and out, but we heard you. They've had good teams, but they've had some trouble getting through the section, it sounds like.
Well, right. I think when you look at all of these, what I call exterior suburbs, when you look at how everything shakes down, you go, okay, you've got, it took Prior Lake, who had some really good teams, quite some time to get there. It wasn't until Bump's senior year, that whole group where they did it. Same thing with Shakopee. We've been looking at them since they were 9th, 10th grade. Okay, here they are, but now they got to get through Eden Prairie. And with Rogers, it's been incremental. You move a couple steps ahead, and this might be the year they can catch Maple Grove. But I'm telling you, Maple Grove coming back and beating St. Thomas Academy, knowing Bergie the way I do, he's the type of guy where he might rope a dope you, and he might not show you everything he's going to do system-wise and uncork it in the playoffs. I think the Section 5 AA final between Rogers and Maple Grove will be fascinating. Ooh, there's a potential breakaway. A good look.
Yeah,
Buzz
I agree.
wide, as I like to say.
Look at the pace. This defenseman that you love, where's he headed?
Oh, do you know? Let me look. I should know this, but of course I don't.
Yes.
You know about as much as I do. Western Michigan. He's going to be hanging with Junior Podine there.
They've had some good teams as of late, Western.
Lots of ozone time here for Rogers out of the chute.
Yeah, it's tilted at the moment.
Isn't it crazy how Chan and Minnetonka were so good last year? Teams now, when we talk about senior late teams, they had the senior both those teams last year. They lost.
Hey Z, we might have to drop you because your connection isn't great.
Can you check your internet, Z? Yeah, what he was saying was Minnetonka, they were so good they lost a lot of their scoring. And, you have Ashton Schultz and you have Danny Clares who move on to the USHL. I think if they're on that Minnetonka team, they make a big difference, but they're not.
Any better?
So, yeah. It comes and goes. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, say something, Z. Can you hear me, Bryan? All right, I guess we're going to lose the Z-Man here. Look at that. Did you see what just happened? John, did you just see what happened there?
Yeah. Chanhassen goal. 1-0. You had him scoring 1?
I had 7-1.
So much for 8-0. This is looking like it might be going the other way.
Right.
What if Chance is here to spoil the party?
Wouldn't that be wild?
They've had some chances early.
They had that really nice breakaway look there, and they are going to know what to do as a group. I mean, they're so well coached. But I mean, they have played a brutal schedule too. It's been a tough one. They close out with Benilde St. Margaret's and New Prague later this week as well, with some conference action.
How do high school schedules work? Are they made each season, or is it a situation where Chan was loaded last year and they do like a 3-year season and then you're stuck with this brutal schedule and a totally different team?
It's more that you're stuck with the brutal schedule. They'll do a contract. Like sometimes they'll say, okay, maybe it's 3 years or 4 years, 2 home, 2 away. Let's see how it's going. So you have your conference games and then your non-conference games. They'll go to a holiday tournament. That's going to be 3 of them. They're non-conference ones. And then they kind of pick and choose who they play there. So it's kind of contracted out, is what I would say. They always do leave a game or 2 open, So I'm going to tell the Z-Man to jump back in.
You saw his note. He said everything's freezing up on my end.
Yeah, I just thought, why not try again?
He lives in Sauk Center. I mean,
yeah.
He's probably at the diner getting grilled cheese.
You think he is?
Trying to do Wi-Fi. The Palmer House. I bet he's at the Palmer House. I don't know if the Palmer House is known for their Wi-Fi.
Ooh, look at that. We might get a few of those here and there, just so you know.
A couple Monet paintings in the live barn?
Yeah, a couple Monets. Oh. We're being told Bryan should have headphones.
He should. Most people should.
In fact, I'll put mine in too, because what's happening is the volume in the lobby is ducking out our microphones, and that's what's causing the problem.
I like it. And it's not all that loud here. There's about 5 people here in the lobby.
Oh man, it sounds like you're in the middle of a concert right now. So that scoreboard is correct. Adam Hauser.
This would not be a good week if they don't straighten this one out.
Good team, bad week. That's really a great call. Love it.
Andover, Hill, Chan. That would be tough.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any headphones, Brian?
I don't.
Well, you sound pretty good right now.
See what happens.
I switched to the 5G network.
Ooh, are you at the Palmer House?
Maybe that we actually have 5G way up here in the sticks. What I miss? Chanhassen Storm?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the one. Well, Rogers got to get 6.
We'll see. It hasn't been that lopsided.
What'd they do? Just get a clean break, or?
They've had a couple chances and they converted on one of them.
Oh.
How's the goalie from Chan? This must be the senior tonight, Stefano Carranzo, an excellent hockey name.
Yeah, I haven't followed Chan too close, to be honest.
Yeah, he's 3-8-1. He's got a 3-7-1 and an 8.92, just about 90% save. He's pitched a shutout as well for his squad. So,
ooh, big hit. Who are your favorites to win state? I really like this Moorhead team. I like the way they play. I'm interested how they do against Hill Murray. I guess Thursday maybe is the game.
Saturday.
Yeah,
last game for both teams, so that could be a fun one. Number 1 versus number 2.
That is tasty.
Yeah.
What do you got?
They're the 2 best teams right now. Stillwater's playing as good as anybody right now, too. But you got, I mean, top 8 teams, any of them can really be there on Friday night at the X. And once you get to Friday night at the X, anything can happen.
right, they got Conway in goal, too, now that he's playing again, and he's very good goalie. Huber did a nice job, but, man, the way they're playing, Stillwater Hill will be one heck of a matchup when those two get going in the sections there. Now, Rogers will be at Moorhead on Thursday, so they'll be softening up the spuds for Hill Murray for Saturday's game. I mean, provided they can get past Chan.
You wonder if you're Moorhead, you've won 22 in a row, and you're ending against 2 top 5 teams. I mean, is it okay to take one on the chin before playoffs?
Some coaches would say that gets their attention right, makes them more coachable.
Yeah.
Scramble. Sorry.
Nothing yet.
Tom Stretar was an original coach for the Chanhassen Storm. He's now an assistant at Minnetonka, but he's a big Chan guy, lives in Chan. Started with Chris Wilson there. He'll be joining us along with Dave Klein as they'll walk us a little bit later on through their growth as an organization. So looking forward to hearing from them as well.
I like how he just hopped on the stream and then promptly went to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, he didn't throw the Peyton Manning BRB up, though. I was looking for that.
No, that's a power move. Just be like,
it was.
I'm gonna jump on the stream and then take a little break, grab the newspaper, and head to the bathroom. I like it. He's setting the tone.
They go back to Moorhead quick. If they were to run the table and win the title, it'd be their first in school history. I think they've been to the dance 6 times, but that would mean that they would have to win 30 in a row.
Wow!
Because they opened the season with a loss. So
they're 0-8 in the championship game.
Is it 8?
Yeah. So there's a lot of ex-spuds. I don't think you can be an ex-spud. I think you're a spud for life. But they all came back to coach, and they're determined to right that wrong. So tell us about Tom here. We got to get him in the mix.
There he is. Tom, how are you, buddy? As I mentioned, you, of course, were an original with Chanhassen as a coach.
Hey, Waves.
How you doing, buddy? You were in Chan
Doing great.
with Wills.
I was, yeah. That goes back to our inaugural season back in 2011, 2012. At that time, Chanhassen was in its second year as a high school. The first year they had a co-op team with Chaska, and Wills was the assistant that year, and then he was named the head coach for the Chanhassen as its first program director.
What was that like being on the ground floor for you guys? Was it like a fresh easel that you could make the art? Like, how did that go for you?
Yeah, Wags, it was an awesome experience. Again, we got to build, like the original Chanhassen culture starting from a clean sheet of paper. So that first year, we only had 2 seniors. We, really built that team, for the following year because we knew we were going to have about 14 or 15 seniors. So it was really exciting.
What was the key to your culture? What were you guys trying to get done? Like, if you had a couple of things, I'm sure you had a bunch, but what were the main 1, 2, or 3 things that you were trying to get established?
I think the main thing we were trying to establish is, we were the newest high school in the state, I think besides Eastridge at that time. So obviously stepping into Section 2AA was, big shoes to kind of step into. We were kind of dealt the cards we were with those early schedules. So we didn't have a lot of teams that, really wanted to consider playing us. So we had to go out and prove that, we were a viable opponent, for teams like Bloomington Jefferson. Jeff Lindquist was really the first team that gave us a shot. And I really respected him for that. He said, it's my job to grow high school hockey. For sure, I'm going to play you guys.
And then, I think that's something that people lose sight of how hard it is to be the new kid on the block when there's the blue bloods. You're part of a blue blood, pun intended, team with Minnetonka with your Blues, right? But
Yeah.
I think it is important. Willard Eichler was the one who said, the great late, God rest his soul, who said we need to do 2-class because we got to get hockey in other areas where maybe they wouldn't give it a shot because now they can be competitive. And so it's important to include those teams in the narrative.
Yeah. I was thinking about, the questions you wanted me to think about in terms of like, where's the state of the game right now? Tradition is important, right? But growing the game is just as important. So how do we continue to do that in the state of hockey?
Well, I mean, how do we? Is there any ideas? I mean, Bryan Zollman from Let's Play Hockey, maybe you can check in too with what you've seen as well. But we'll start with you, Tom.
Well, when you take a look at kind of how the stratification of Class AA and Class A is, you look at Class A, it's really turned into outstate hockey along with Orono, Delano, Matamidi, and Minneapolis. So, the inner city, 494 schools that are kind of stuck in the Class AA, realm right now. Are we doing the right thing for those schools? I would start there. Obviously, hockey is well known in northern Minnesota, and we can't lose that tradition, right? But I think there's room to grow it inside the that 494, 694 belt. So I would start there.
Z, what say you?
I think it's time to really pop up the hood and look at the engine that we got going here and consider a 3rd class. You look at all the AA schools that Tom's talking about within the metro. Tartan can't compete. They don't even have an A Bantam team, and now they're expected to play AA high school hockey and play a schedule that has Hill Murray on it. And Tartan's just one of dozens of schools that are in that situation that really have no chance. what is their goal at the beginning of the season? You know, to win 10 games, to win 8, to win a playoff game. You know, it used to be where a larger percentage of the teams had a legitimate chance, and now we've gotten pretty top heavy in Class A. We've gotten pretty top heavy in Class AA. What do we do with the rest of those teams? And you talk about opportunities for kids. Sooner or later, you know, we're going to start losing kids. They're going to find other things to do, and so I think it's something that has to be considered. I know people don't want to rock the apple cart. You know, that's because everybody loves the tournament the way it is, you know, but we got to remember back in 92 when we went to a two-tier system, everybody was pretty up in arms over that too, and it seemed to work out pretty well.
Well, I mean, what does it matter? Because if you're a team like Tartan that you're suggesting would never even be anywhere near it, as they would get, let's say, buried in a first round, 15-1, who, you know, isn't it great that they can get 3 and 6 more games on the season? Tom, I've been talking 3 classes for a while. What are you hearing from the coaching circles about that?
You know, it's been kicked around, but I just don't think it has any traction. And it's unfortunate because you look at all of the other sports in the Minnesota State High School League umbrella, they've all expanded. So
yeah.
I think it's interesting to take a look at, you know, basketball, you know, how many classes that I believe they have 4, you know, how many groups of teams are in each one of those classes. So I think you know, it's definitely worth some due diligence to take a look at.
I am looking like a buffoon on my prediction, boys.
It's early. It's early.
I think Tom's bringing them some luck. I wanted to ask you, you know, you were there in the humble beginnings, and to see him make it to the state tournament last year as well as the championship game, how much joy did you get out of watching that last year?
Well, I had a little pain since they beat my Skippers to get there. But, you know, John, my house was in Chanhassen, but I was on the Minnetonka side of the Chanhassen border. So I was kind of in an interesting situation, you know, at that time in my life. I'm a huge fan of Sean Bloomfield, their head coach. You know, he does it the right way. I do a lot of work with Minnesota hockey, so I had worked with a lot of his players, Caden Lee, the Biskins, Christ, Gavin Eulenkamp. So I knew all those guys, awesome kids. So I was happy for them, yet sad for my group to try and you know, do a repeat.
Yeah, I mean, yes, sir.
Just a heads up. In a couple minutes, it's going to be we're going to be at basically Lollapalooza here in the lobby. We're going to have Adam Hauser jumping on with me. So I'm just telling you all, let's just embrace the chaos and just
fully embrace. We're just going to shut up and listen. And then what I'll do, John, when House comes in, I'm going to throw you a couple of chirpy questions for him.
Yeah, that's fine, because based on the amount of parents that were in the lobby just thinking that I worked for an actual Pulltab company and they liked
seriously
Pulltabs, I mean, the amount of strangers that might just sit down next to me, the over-under is about 8.
Crazy.
This is a great start for Chan, though. I mean, they're just pitching a bullet, 1-0 on senior night. I mean, this is. I wonder if the sticks are going to get tight or how long it takes Rogers to worry.
Well, one of the things that I mentioned in the beginning was that Chanhassen is very well coached. They're very structured. They play together as a group of 5. We saw it in their game against you last year, Tom, in the section final. We saw it throughout the state tournament. Can you kind of recognize that a little bit and talk about what a great job Bloomer does with this team as far as positional play?
Yeah. The kids are in the right spot. Again, goes back to, you know, that core group last year that they had as seniors. They started playing school hockey as freshmen. Very similar to that Blake situation that Greg May put together with that whole group that made the state tournament waves.
Mm-hmm.
If you can play 50 to 60 games and then get into your junior and senior year, hey, everyone's got a shot. And when you have a goaltender like they did, which we knew, hats off to them.
You said something about 30 games and players that Goldie mentioned. Would you mind sharing that?
Yeah, it takes about a season's worth of games for the kids to really understand how to play high school hockey, in a manner that's going to be successful. And I attribute it to this, Wags. You come out of youth playing Bantams and Pee-wees. What are they playing? 50, 60 games? It's like, oh, we lost the game. Well, I got another one this afternoon, so no big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The script flips from 60 games and maybe 30 practices to 30 games and 60 practices. Kids aren't used to that level of intensity that needs to be put into their games. So it takes them about a year. And then again, when you look at Chan last year, Blake from the 2019-2020 season, those kids had 75 games under their belt. They were not going to be intimidated stepping on the ice who they played.
And they have a clue on the power play here, as you can see. Really nice draw. They win it, bump the boards. They go east-west and go back against the grain, then have a little scramble. Nice save by Knock.
They are really good on the draw. They run a lot of plays off the face-off.
Details. And you see more goals scored off draws in the playoffs than any other time of the year. Right. I don't have a scientific proof, but I just feel it. How's that?
That works.
It's like a mini power play. If you win that draw, Wags, you got like 3 to 4 seconds to do something with the puck.
Right, because you're going to where you want to go, and they're reacting flat-footed. And if your center's good at tying your guy up, I mean, you've got it.
Yep.
Well, a face-off's a loose puck battle, right? I mean, think about it. It's a loose puck battle, and you win that loose puck battle, now you got possession. Can't score without possession.
So watch this draw here. They're set up to win it to the D, and the wall wing may go to the middle of the ice. Here he goes. So there's the draw to the D. Now he's going to look backdoor. This is a standard Chan play that they love to run.
What are the shots on goal, guys? Anybody know?
Hey, Wags, let's put Hauser and I on. We could cut the live feed here for a minute and do a little in between. So we're joined by former Gopher, national champion, and hockey dad here in Rogers. What do you think about the start? We're down 1-0. How are we doing, Adam?
The Gopher side of me says, okay, we're all right, right? The coaching side. The hockey dad side of me says, we need a little more. Let's find something more than what we got going on.
Wags, you're muted here. I'm going to click you off. Can you hear Wags?
Yeah, I got him now. Yeah, I got him now.
He's right here.
What's up, buddy? Is there panic in Royal Land right now? I mean, is it starting to quake? I mean, this is not good.
I know what you're saying. I do. I really do.
I'm joking, but I'm not joking, right?
As an experienced Rogers dad, I would say this is Rogers hockey.
Self-deprecating.
Just from what I've seen though, like going into Hill Murray the other day, we did not play well starting off. We really did, but we had them on their heels at the end of the second period. If anybody was watching that game, that was one of the games that we had something going on, and Hill Murray could feel it. There is, I just think that we do have a good team. We just have a hard time kind of like putting the pieces together to start off, and we need some pushback on our own game. And it's just kind of it. Just like kids, I hate to say it. If anybody's out there watching, darn kids. That's what I would say. Darn kids.
Well, tomorrow could be a totally different day. Hey, John, real quick, I've got Chris Swarth out with a quick update for us. You got TG. Who are they playing? Can you give us a quick 30-second update, and then we'll bounce? Oh, muted. Hang on. Go. You're muted on your end. In 3, 2.
All right, they're playing the. Can you hear me? They're playing the 20-2 Monticello Moose. And undeniably, the Moose are statistically the leaders here. Grace is leading after 1-1-0, coming on the heels of a 5-minute Aiden Winmark major for boarding. Grace comes in, they pump one in, they get the momentum, they get going, and it's been a real close one. In the closing seconds, Moose penetrated Covrig, got one right behind, and Grace scooped it out just as it crossed the line. Goal waved off, remains 1-0. Grace is leading in a heartbreaker right now for the Monticello Moose.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the check-in. Good stuff.
Hey, Pete, let's go. We'll have some of these other guys come in a minute. Maybe go with Adam here. And then let's watch that food review with Hauser since his team plays here. And let's see if he agrees with the food review. You get to watch it right here. Ella's going to play it for us. See if
First period, intermission, food review. Checking out the concessions. We had to go with a hot dog and a popcorn. Kind of been the gig recently. Let's see what's up with the dog. Ooh, it's a good-looking doggy. I like that. Good start. Is this bun even like warm and toasted? That's even better.
Is it really a toasted bun, Hauser?
That's actually a really good hot dog. My mother taught me not to talk with food in my mouth, but here I am. So that's a little bit problematic. Let's check out the popcorn. This is rather special because they asked me, they're like, do you want butter in your popcorn? I'm like, of course I want butter in my popcorn. Who do you think I am? So I saw them scoop the popcorn. Then they had this bottle of butter, and they squirted it on top. Like, do you see how shiny this is? It's coated in butter. It's like movie theater popcorn right here.
Clogging. Looking at it.
Okay. Yep. Wow, I'm not going to be able to put this down. Good buttery popcorn. Thank you, Rogers, for the butter. That's what it's all about.
Have you tried this popcorn?
Where is this popcorn?
We're going to lose our guest. It's right over here at the vending machine. Have you eaten this ever?
I have not.
And they have
popcorn at the rack. I have not. I'm sorry. Sorry. Wags, where are you right now? I need you.
I'm hanging you out to dry is what I'm doing right now, buddy. Because that's what we do, right? So, you know that the truth is that this team is 19-3. They've challenged themselves with a heck of a schedule. You've been there. Do you ever get in a position where you start saying, okay, I'm looking ahead to what could be, and forgetting that you've got a couple of key games you need to play to keep playing well? Did that ever come into your playing days at the U? Or growing up in the pros even?
No, but what I would say is this. For these guys on the high school side, they have the luxury of playing their regular section schedule. Coming into the final couple games of the season, they got to play Kilburn. They're playing Chanhassen tonight, but they know what they're up against for the rest of the year. Sections are going to be a proving ground for these guys. I do think that this game right now, as it stands, is kind of the testing grounds for these guys. Like, I know that it's 0-1 right now for the Rogers Royals, but I do think they possess the confidence that at any moment they're gonna bust one, they're gonna bust two, they're gonna bust three, and that's kind of the makeup of the team. Now, what I would say is, as a former goalie, does that make me confident, comfortable? No. I want to be leading from minute one. I want to be dominant from minute one. But this is kind of the team that they have. Is if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I know at any moment in time, these guys can dominate the game. So that's kind of what we're up against. We'll see what they got.
So we just turn the faucet on for you in the second period, and off you go. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I mean, it wasn't ideal the first period. I just think that they have to kind of just keep their legs underneath them. They're going to find their groove. They're going to wear up Chanhassen, and that's going to be.
How much of that is just senior night? You know, you got all the emotions. You got 10 seniors. You know, you see that even when Marc-Andre Fleury has a special night. He was saying he was exhausted in Montreal after the first period. He only had 5 shots on him because of all the emotion. So maybe that first period, that wears off, and the faucet kicks on in the second.
2 things. So when I was playing, like I do recall like just showing up to the rink kind of in a way, just like being punch drunk. Like, who are we playing tonight? I didn't even know. Okay, we're just we're playing the Lowell Lock Monsters. Yeah. How are they different than the Worcester Ice Cats? Like, I don't know. But what I would say is these guys, they're coming in. They know what they have to do. They know that their bodies are where they are for the season. It's not exactly like, you know, how NHL would draw it up. But at this age, these guys do recall what they can do as players. They just need to find a little space, find a little time. I know for a fact that the skill that some of these guys have, it is off the charts. Right? Mason Jensen has proven it over the last 2-3 months. Parker DeShane isn't out there tonight. Nolan Gerdes, yeah. Jackson Smith Connect is going to bump some bodies. Maddie can help out the same, just the same. We just need a little time.
I like it. Who's the best team you've seen? You guys have played a wicked schedule. You've played about everybody. As an opposition, who's the best team you've seen on the other side of the ice?
I do want to say Hill Murray was solid, right? They jumped on us early. It's been a while since we played someone of that caliber. Early in the season, we did play STA. Okay. They were good. I don't think that we had our best against them. I think against Hill Murray late in the year, we had a better chance at kind of showing them what we got. After we kind of shook the cobwebs loose, after we kind of shed kind of our section schedule. I do think that Hillary is good. I do. I really do. And between them and STA, just because it's most recent, I would say Hillary's got the edge. STA is obviously very good. I know that Maple Grove just pulled them down. I think they have tools. They are capable. I do think that Edina is out there. We have not played them, and that's always what I would consider a dangerous situation. Experience is on their side.
You're going to look at the Moorhead Spuds next year.
Yeah, I do. I mean, we've battled them from these days in terms of summertime hockey with ice school scrimmages. A lot of these guys dating back into Bantam hockey, even in the TV. Moorhead's got a lot of good things going for them. They really do. Obviously, the knowledge is up there, the ability to kind of put things together, and the hockey knowledge, the hockey IQ that these guys can put together. It is solid. It's going to be a tough matchup on Thursday.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us. It's about to start the second, and you are also a hockey dad, so you got to go in there and watch. But we'd love to have you on Tuesday Night Lights, Mr. Adam Hauser.
Thank you. Like I say to everyone, good luck, everyone.
We bring in Dave Klein. Of course, he was Tom's co-coach and assistant at Chanhassen year ones and on. Of course, with Chris Wilson, who was running the show there. Dave, great to have you on board. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for getting a hold of me.
Sorry, working. Yeah, sorry, I was working the crud, had to mute and work the cough there. Ryan Johnson's with us too. Ryan, we kind of got a full house, so we'll try to work you in here. I don't know how much time you have between practices and whatnot, but welcome aboard. Ryan, of course, is a Rogers coach as well at the Pee Wee. Is it AA level, Ryan? I think you're muted on your end.
Let's see here. Got
There
me?
you go. Yep.
Yeah. So Pee Wee AA head coach, and then
help out with the square days. I got a kid on the square days as well. So,
And you're running around back and forth from Blaine. So,
yeah, always something to do at the rink for sure.
So, Dave, tell us a little bit about how you got hooked up with Chanhassen hockey and how you got together with Tom here to coach in those early years.
Well, I got my coaching career started at Minnetonka, and I was a defenseman coach on the varsity with my brother. He was the head coach, Tom Klein, and Chris Wilson was the square day coach for many years, and we had a good relationship with our youth program during that time. And after my brother left Tonka and went to Hopkins, I became the youth hockey director. So I spent a ton of time with all the youth teams and would go on the ice with during practices and that kind of thing. And then I became the Mound head coach. And I took a few years off after coaching 4 years at Mound, and I went to Holy Family for 2 years. And lo and behold, I'd be running into Chris Wilson as he was helping the Chaska-Chan combined team. And there was a coaching change taking place at Holy Family, and Wills told me he was going for the Chan job and asked if I would like to join, and I told him for sure. And it was some of the best years I had coaching. Had 8 years there, and 25 total years coaching high school hockey, and the 8 at Chan I view as some of the best.
That is quite the run for you there, you and your brother. I mean, I think if you put the two of you together, I mean, you must be well over a half century. Well, for sure. I mean, what's TK, 40 years?
Oh, he's 40 years for sure. And, you know, one of the things I'm most proud of, if you look at head coaches that went to the state tournament, you know, we went when he was, you know, at Minnetonka in 94, and I was fortunate enough to go when I was Mound coach in 2001. And so our names are back to back in the program for coaches of state high school teams or state tournament coaches. Really proud of that. And I really enjoyed high school hockey coaching. It was just a treat to do for 25 years. And I had to make a career change about 7 years ago, and now I get to go to Florida in the winter. So,
but is that where you're there right now, aren't you?
I'm not in Florida right now,
okay.
no, but we're going to be heading there soon. So
that's great. Let's just jump in with Ryan real quick before he has to go. Can you tell us what the culture is like at the youth level right now in Rogers hockey?
I would say it's exciting. We see the success the high school team's having. The youth players see that. They want to be part of it. Our youth teams are doing really good right now. We are on the cusp of adding a second rink, which is really going to help our association. Obviously, I'm in Blaine tonight, like I mentioned. We do a lot of our practices over here. So that's something we're really been fighting for, really looking forward to happening. I just see a lot of excitement with all of our teams. Our boys teams are really strong. Our girls program co-ops with Anoka, they've been really strong all year. I think our 12 and our 10A teams are some of the best in the state for the girls. And I just see a lot of positivity, a lot of excitement, and a lot of anticipation for just good things to come with the association. And so it's really a fresh, fun feeling.
Hey, Ryan, sorry, I'm in the rink, so it might be a little loud, but I'm curious. It's senior night here, and Hauser kind of said this is a defining game for these guys. They've had a tough week, dropping a couple games. They're going to have the Moorhead Spuds coming up. What's your prediction? Are they going to respond here, or is this going to be another close your eyes game, you know, a good team with a bad week?
I think, you know, I haven't been able to tune in to watch the game so far. I see it's 1-0 right now. I gotta imagine the big guys for Rogers are gonna break through at some point here. You know, it's tough when you lose 2 games. You know, the Andover game was tough. The Hill Murray game again was tough. I think Rogers is gonna pull it out here. I don't know what the shots are. I can't really see on my screen here, but it looks like we've got good zone time. Senior night, of course, you know, hopefully they leave it all on the ice, right? They've got nothing to save for. This is their last home game. So hopefully they're able to get it done and bounce back from a tough week.
I tend to mute myself all the time and not unmute, so apologize. Then Dave and Tom, from your perspective, you hear the things that Ryan talks about with the energy, having to maybe sacrifice a little bit because you don't have the ice time. When you guys had your team and you were building in Chan, what kind of obstacles did you guys have? Was the rec center a 2-sheet facility at the time? Was it one? Were you sharing with Holy Fam? How did all that work?
Well, I had the 2 years at Holy Family, and they built that second sheet, I think my second year. And, when I was coaching at Minnetonka and at Mound, our players had to bring their equipment. They carried it into the rink every day. There wasn't a permanent locker room for the guys. And, when I got to Chan, and we had our own locker room at Holy Family that guys could keep their stuff, but for many years, guys had to carry their bags. And I get to Chan, and the facilities were just unbelievably, it was like a college locker room or a professional locker room. It was just beautiful. And we had a weight room there. When we were at Tonka, we'd have to go back to the school to get a workout in, or, for dry land, we could do that at the rink. But Chanhassen had everything under, one roof. And we had Auntie Lockeson, the former Wild player, help us in the summer and help develop our dry land programs and everything like that. And it just felt like a real professional organization in my mind. It was really kind of an upgrade to, for all the facilities and what we had as assets. And so I felt like we were able to hit the ground running when, there's a lot of excitement about the new program. And I thought we had everything and all the tools available to us. And, we were a 500 team the first year, and the second year we won 20 games and won the Minnesota Conference for the first time ever. Holy Angels had won that every single year.
Yeah, that was the Greg Treble show then, right?
Yes. Yeah. And we had, our first year, we had some unbelievable games with Holy Angels. I don't know if we split or we lost both, but I think we swept them our second year and we won the conference. And we were pretty excited about, how we got the program off and running.
Tom Stretar, real quick, you've had probably about 5 minutes plus to watch here into the second period. What are you seeing? Tom, could you hear me? Am I muted again?
No,
I can hear you.
Okay. Let's see. My God, I'm muted again.
I'm gonna give Ryan a question just because I know he has to go too.
Yeah, right.
We'll sort out this second sheet of ice. I'm kind of in the lobby here over by the crane game and the bathrooms. Is your second sheet of ice going to go right out here where I'm looking? Is that all these parents are very excited about the new sheet of ice? Where's it going to go?
So if it's dark out, obviously, but if you could see out there, you've got a turf facility that's being built right now, and that's approved, ready to go. The city's doing that, building that, and in between the turf facility that's being put up right now and where the rink is, where you're sitting, that will be the space where the second rink will go. So I think there's some drawings up there, but that's kind of how it's worked out. Hopefully there's room for some dry land, some offices, meeting rooms. I think there'll be some retail space. So we're very, very close. We just gotta make sure everything is where it should be and the city signs off on it. But we've done a lot of work. The president for Rogers Hockey has worked tirelessly on this. He has given up, his nights and weekends to make this work, and countless meetings and meeting with people in the area, businesses. They have done a fantastic job to get this thing work to where we're at. So we're just on the final stretch, and we're really hoping that by spring, summer, they're breaking ground on it.
Wow.
I wonder what kind of impact that will have on. It seems like the parents go out this door in between periods sometimes. I don't know what's going on, but they'll have to find a new spot, I guess.
Yeah, they'll have to find a new spot.
Are you getting the draft? Is that what you're saying, John? It's freezing you out there?
Hey, I'm from White Bear. I'm very familiar with taking a walk between periods to a cold car, and I can see that's a proud part of Rogers hockey tradition as well, based on the parents' smiling faces.
Yeah.
Well, that's great stuff, Ryan. Thanks for joining us. We'll have you on next time we're with you, with Roger.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Have a good practice, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Yep. Bye.
Tom Stretar, you're back.
I hope I'm back.
Yeah. Well, before we go into the next question, I had asked you a question previously. You've probably had about now 8 minutes to watch this. What have you seen this period?
Yeah. It looks like they're still kind of going through the motions on the Rogers side. The puck hasn't really been dominant down in the Rogers end. Chan again is defending really nice. They're getting the puck out of their zone quickly.
Oh no!
So Rogers really hasn't been able to sustain any pressure, in their offensive zone.
Yeah, no, they really haven't. It's almost like they're expecting something to happen that they're used to making happen. And I think when you start doubting yourself as a team, that's a little bit of what can happen. When you guys had that with your teams, how do you work through that? Dave, we'll start with you.
Oh, maybe you switch up your game plan a little bit. As you well know, my brother was a tactician in regards to system play. And if one thing's not working, or if you're not getting the results you want, kind of switch up maybe your forecheck, or you switch up your neutral zone forecheck. And so maybe you just, or shorten up your bench or deepen your bench. If some guys aren't going, try and get some other guys going.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a tough turnover there. I just got a text, John, from Adam Hauser said, how about the fact that we are that one bad turnover away from being down 2-0?
I know. I'm telling you, if this doesn't even up in the next 7 minutes, you're going to see a mutiny. I'm going to have hockey parents around me. I mean, it's going to look. It's not going to look good. They're going to need to get some.
Are they blaming TNL? Is it the TNL curse? Is that what we're hearing?
It's like the old Sports Illustrated cover curse, maybe.
Right.
But I agree with Klein. Like, if you were to watch this game, you're not going to say one of these teams is dominant and the other one is down. It looks like a completely even hockey game. Nobody's really flashing. Chan's goalie's playing well. So it looks like a coin toss, not a running time like a lot of people were predicting.
What a great situation here. Let's get back into the Chanhassen scene with the two of you. When you left in I almost made it without coughing. When you guys left and you left, what was your level of satisfaction as far as saying, you know what, we did a really good job as a group and this is what we left it in? Can you kind of paint the picture of what you left behind for the next group to take over?
Well, I actually applied.
Yeah, I'll start.
Go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say our last game, ironically, was against Minnetonka in the playoffs. Bobby Brink was a freshman that year, and we had a 1-0 lead going into the third period. We had Tonka, kind of by the tail, and we didn't end up winning that game. But when we got back to the locker room, obviously the coaches were, not happy, sad that we had lost. The players looked at us and told us, you had us prepared for this game. We knew everything that they were going to do. And, we just got beat in the third period, but, there's nothing to be ashamed of. That's how I remember that season and career at Chanhassen ending.
Yeah. And, I actually applied for the job after Chris decided to step down. I thought we were in a good spot, and I kind of wanted to stick around and see it to the end. And unfortunately, I didn't get the job, but that led to getting the job that I have now, and I'm happy with that. But I thought we left it in a really good situation.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you say, why did this happen? And then now you're probably saying, I'm going to Florida here in another few days. So life is good. But Well, that's great stuff. And, from your perspective, guys, having played and been around high school hockey and coaching it, what has been a constant that's remained the same from your playing days into today's game from what you two have observed?
Well, Tom, you're still in it, so why don't you start?
Yeah, I think successful teams are tight-knit. Players understand their roles, and they buy into that. And when you're watching this Chan team tonight, they're playing their role and they're doing their job, and you're seeing success, here through the second period. And I think that's a microcosm of not only hockey but of life. If you can understand your role and you figure out how that can work into the bigger picture, you're going to have success.
When we were at Minnetonka, we would scrimmage Duluth East every year, and to start the season. And now, my brother and Mike Randolph are coaching together. And the one thing that Randolph's teams always had is you had a hard time telling the first line from the fourth line. They all went at the same speed and pace, and maybe the talent level would be, vary from one line to another, but not the energy or the effort. And, when we first got to Chanhassen, the thing that kind of stood out in our minds was they really had an unbelievable compete level. And as a coach, you can push and push and push and work them hard, but the team itself has got to have that compete level and drive. And that's really been a constant forever. And you can have teams that, our team that went to state at Minnetonka wasn't the most talented. The team that I had at Mound was a team that just wouldn't stop going, and they weren't the most talented of the teams that I coached. So, it's really having a bunch of individuals that really have great chemistry and just have a high compete level is, to me, really essential in having that long-term success.
Dave, is a compete level, is that something that's learned, taught, or organically drawn in? Or
I think it's a combination of all of it. But you have some guys that they just have a motor that won't, they have another gear, and when they get in a situation where they have to show tenacity and actually win a battle, they win the battles. And hockey's a team game, but it also boils down to individual battles in the corners and in front of the net and back checking and blocking shots, and it's all this individual effort kind of comes together in a group effort. And it's why teams don't go to state every single year. It's, each team is different.
Well, and, Tom, I've always said that playoff hockey requires good detail. And if your detailed team sticks all of that, the one-on-one battles Dave mentioned, you've got a lot better chance of popping through to that state tournament than if you have bad habits, obviously. There's a power play.
Pete, I know you know that. Yeah, this is an interesting shift here.
Right.
Rogers just had a breakaway, didn't score, and now they got to defend a penalty here. So
sorry, I didn't mean to ask a question. I didn't mean to ask a question and then go, whoa, we got a power play here. But it was kind of an intriguing moment there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Give me that question again, Wags. I think about
just about details. I think teams that are very strong on details can go further than those that don't have good detail.
Yeah. And I know you know this story when Jack Hillen was with us at the start of Goldie's, head coaching career. Jack Hillen was very detail oriented, and that's really stuck with us. And Jack would say, "Your stick's not here; it needs to be 6 inches over here because you're taking away this passing. If it's not there, you're not doing your job." So, we talk about it all the time. Details matter.
They do. Now this power play is working. Here we go.
Hey, I was going to ask you guys too, since you have a ton of perspective. We were talking earlier about a 3-class system in high school, and I got a text while we were on the live stream saying that's like giving a ribbon to everyone. But the other point is it just keeps more players playing hockey longer. All the other sports do it. Where would you be on expanding the state tournament versus keeping the way it is now?
Yeah, John, it goes back to my original comment of tradition versus growing the game, right? What's more important? I think you have to respect the tradition, but if this truly is the state of hockey, then we need to grow the game, and that eventually may lead to a third class, which I would support.
Well, and if I may, as a and I'm not the panel, but one of the guys, the hosts, I totally agree with that. If we would have followed through and said, no, we want to have one class, we wouldn't have Fairmont, we wouldn't have Laverne, we wouldn't have Dodge County, we wouldn't have all of those teams all over the state that are playing. And, that was the whole point and purpose of it. Yeah, I do get the tradition. You can still have the tradition. Teams can opt up,
Right.
That type of thing. So I think the idea is to get what I always ask is on a text like that, who's this for? Is this for fans or is this for the kids?
Yep.
I mean, to me,
we got a tie game. Looks like
more kids playing. There it is. Okay. Right after the PK,
yeah, it
right?
looks like that shot from the slot might beat him over the glove there. Yeah, no, Pete, you're right on. Again, when we talk about tradition, you take a look at that state tournament ticket holder. They've been there a long time, right?
Right.
It's hard to crack that list. I mean, it took me probably 15 years to get my ticket, and now I'm on it. And it's a fine line that we need to respect. But again, let's give opportunities to all the players in the state.
I do get it that you don't want to give everybody a ribbon. I know for sure. I totally agree with that. But I do think the idea is to grow the game, and that's kind of the concept. And I think the more teams you can keep playing later in the season, the more you can grow the game.
Yeah, Pete, I agree with your comment about, the teams that want to move up, they can move up. And I remember when I got the Mound job, I wanted to be like the Rosso off the Metro, a small school that played some bigger schools and just had a higher expectation level. I know we're a small school, but that doesn't mean we can't compete. And, it's great to see, some of the smaller schools. I mean, Blake has moved up, if I understand that, and I think Holy Family has, St. Thomas Academy has. I just think it's great that you can be a small school and have high expectations, but I can see your point where you have more teams get opportunities to play a longer, calendar.
Correct. I mean, it's one of those things where if you're going to lose 15-1 and be out, why not have a better experience? And people don't have to watch it if they don't want to. That's kind of thought there. 1-1 here as we're closing out the period. Do you think, John King, this is where the Royals thought they'd be tonight at this stage? You're muted on your end, buddy.
There you go. I was going to say there's no such thing as an ugly W. So if they win 2-1, no one's going to care, right? So as long as they respond, they're tied now. So it seems like they're playing better here late in the second.
Starting to get their momentum. Dave and Tom, we got some more guests coming in, so we're going to let you guys fly. I appreciate your time with us here tonight. We had a blast. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Chat soon.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Pete.
See you Thursday, Tom. All right, there we go.
20 seconds. We got our second in-rink guest, Pete, that'll be joining us. He just checked in with me. He's going to be out here in a little bit. And then Eric Vegoe from Gopher Pub Live will take us home in the third.
Pete Anderson, do you have your camera on, buddy?
I'm here.
Hey.
Guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for jumping in. We have a guest that's going to be joining us here from Rogers real quick. If you could give us an update on your Andover game, that would be awesome.
Well, it's not going great here for the Huskies. They're down 4-0 after a 4-goal output by the Cougars in the second period. Just some bad bounces, not very inspired play by the Huskies here as they're looking to make their best case for a top 3 seed in Section 7 AA this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're 11-3 coming into this one after being 0-9. I think it's still one of the great stories in high school hockey. Pete, have a good third period. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.
You can join that game on the MNHockey.tv as well. And we now have a kind of royalty in the house here, John. What do you got?
Well, tell me more. Tell me more. We got is this royalty? Is that what this is?
I think a little bit of a stretch there. Bill Zocker from the Rogers Youth Hockey Association, part of the executive board there. I've been with the association for almost 10 years now, and just was asked to join you guys and fill you in a little bit on what we've got going on.
What's your take on the game so far? So they started slow. We had Hauser come in here after the first, and he said, "This is a big game for these guys to show us what they're made of." Now they got the equalizer. What do you expect in the third?
Well, I think they're going to see a lot of the same, a lot of zone time, a lot of pressure. I think you can tell, the top line was not quite mixing the way they have been. Taking a little time to get used to fill in for Parker there, but I think they'll keep coming, and goalie's been playing really well for Chanhassen, and when you got a goalie who plays like that, anything can happen.
Who got the goal? Who got the equalizer?
Basically from Keaton and Hauser.
Putting up his 78th point, and then the Hauser kid had the assist too, huh?
Yep.
That's what we call the Tuesday night lights bump that you get from there.
Get back here.
Are you excited about the second sheet coming in here? And
I'm excited about the momentum that we have. We've been working hard at the city to come up with plans. We're getting close. We've been working with an architect to do the design now. Of course, we have this beautiful turf facility that's currently being built, and then the ice that's connected to it. But we're optimistic that we'll be able to get everything that we need done this fall, so we can start going to bid this fall and potentially have the ice ready for the 26-27 season.
What would it mean for Rogers to break through 10 seniors, get that first state tournament appearance? I mean, you're already on the map as a hockey town, but wouldn't that be validating to kind of see them come all the way through?
Yeah, I think that's always when you're in any program in any sport, you got to get over that hump first, and then you get there, and then it's no longer trying to get there. So you've been there, and now you need to continue to progress and improve. I think it's really important. Obviously, the team is in a great spot to do that, but it's the first time of the season. You got to pull through here the last 2 games.
What's been the recipe in Rogers? You kind of, I was joking with Pete, I knew your town because I would get stuck in traffic here on the way to the cabin and I would punch the ceiling of my car. But now you're just all of a sudden this wagon on the hockey side. What happened? Was it coaching? Was it kids deciding to stay in Rogers and not leave? What are some of the ingredients other people could look to?
Yeah, I think, with the growing community, younger families moving in, now you're seeing those younger families, kids at the high school age level. And, the youth program has been very strong. We've done a really nice job of, I guess you could say, recruiting, but reaching out to the community to get kids out skating, and then just making fun. Make kids come back every year. You just want kids to keep coming back, and the association continues to grow. We grow 5 to 7% each year, and we look to keep doing that. If you have numbers, then you have good quality teams.
And tell us about your role now. What exactly do you do, and what's like a normal day in a life look like for you?
Well, so my role as vice president, I've been spending a lot of time with the new rate, but generally it's about helping to manage the association. Not a lot of hockey, not a whole lot of hockey for me. I don't deal with coaching. I don't deal with teams necessarily. It's just making sure that we're doing the right thing for the association members and the kids, and making sure that we're following policy. Like I said, most of the time right now is spending working on the rink, trying to get that over.
Well, we hope you do. Pete, what questions do you have for the man, the Rogers Royal?
Bill, one of the things I wanted to ask is, obviously you've got the luxury of growing community, but there's plenty of other things for kids to do in the winter. How have you guys as a board really focused on saying, hey, here's hockey, here's us, give it a shot? What type of things have you guys done to draw kids in?
Yeah, well, we're active in the summer. There's Rock and Rogers Days. We're present there with a booth, with a float that we walk the kids through. We do learn to skate. We play hockey for free, so we promote that very heavily for the first year skaters to come in and do it for free. We have a lot of grants that we are able to take advantage of to get equipment for kids. We do some events in the fall as well, just like get food trucks out here and just make it kind of a nice event. High school kids come out, get to meet the kids, the youth kids get to meet the high school kids. Which really make it kind of a nice, small family type of feel that the kids out there interested in playing.
In terms of like the game and playing itself, from a mission perspective of Rogers Youth Hockey, what are the key components that you want your kids to walk away with when they play the game at Rogers Youth Hockey Association?
Well, I think with any sport, really, it's helping to teach them fundamentals, and teaching them resilience, compete levels. But then, at the end of the day, it's also not a lot of kids move on, so you want them to learn how to get along, be good teammates. We really emphasize having strong grades as well from a student athlete perspective. So really take care of the kids who get good grades, and we have a nice event at the end of the year to celebrate that. But I think that's really it, is just providing an environment that's going to be fun for kids and come back to real.
Hey, I got two questions for you. These are very serious, difficult questions. I got to know more about Rock and Rogers Days, whatever this is. Is this something I need to drive from White Bear? Is this like Motley Crue and Poison? And have you tried the popcorn here with the separate butter that they just spray all over it? Is that something that's on your playlist?
The butter topic here is a hot topic for the last probably 3 to 6 months. There's been a couple of different types of butter that they've gone through. They switched over to butter a few months ago. I didn't go over well, so they revert back. I haven't tried the spray on butter. I'm going to have to try it. That popcorn is the number one seller they have here. They do a great job. It's good popcorn.
It looks like it. I mean, they hammer it. It looks like the butter is it's quite yellow.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we Rock and Rogers end of June. They get a couple bands that come out, Hairspray, Johnny Holmes band used to come here. And it's just kind of a little carnival. There's rides for the kids. It's really like a small town carnival. It's kind of a fun activity for the parents once they get out.
Is it always rock, or would you have like a country band? I mean, Johnny Holmes does some country. Is it just that just means party?
Yeah, it can go back and forth. I don't know which country bands they've had lately, if they have. I think they just try to find something that will help also bring more people to the community.
What's your prediction for the final? Final score, we're 1-1 after 2. Senior night, a lot of emotion. You've helped build it. How's this thing going to finish?
It's going to be going to end up 4-1. We're going to empty netter to 4.
Okay, no overtime, no bonus hockey. We're just warming up, and the third's going to get hot.
Yep, I think so. Yep.
Bill, you are the man. Are we going to cut him loose to get back into the building there, John, or where are we at?
It's getting rowdy. We'll send him. Thank you so much for joining us on Tuesday Night Lights, and keep building this.
Yeah.
Get that second sheet, and let it rip.
John, do you have the silver butter knife for him, or are you giving those away today, or no?
I do not have a silver butter knife for him.
Oh, okay, sorry, Bill. I was trying to get you a free steak. I couldn't get it done.
Good try, though.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. We don't have a shortage of guests here, John. Patrick Griswold is the head coach, 200-game winner for the Academy of Holy Angel Stars. He heard our discussion about the 3-class system. It's a passion of yours, and you want to roll it out. So, Patrick, let's roll. What do you got? How you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good, thank you. Are you in
Good.
some sort of like dungeon?
First off,
what's going on?
What, the background?
It's like so dark.
Yeah, we got to keep it quiet. We got 103 temperature mom upstairs. We have 2 5-year-olds trying to sleep.
Is she rocking the flu?
Yeah, bad, and she just can't get rid of it.
Does she have the cough?
Yes, the whole deal.
4 weeks, 5 weeks. What number is she on?
Day like 6.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. First time she's ever called in sick to work was last Saturday, Sunday.
Sorry to hear,
Pat,
buddy.
do you want to throw on some night vision goggles or anything? Are you?
We're good.
We're good. Can you see us?
We're
Are
good,
you
John.
able? Are you able to?
Awesome.
So here's a good story. The first time I ever met the infamous John King was in the Caesar's Palace sport book on the day before the Vikings played the Raiders.
Oh. And how did that go? Was it good?
It was good. It was good. You're a legend. You're a legend. You know.
I like this look. I think it's nice. Like, you should get some of those stars for your ceiling that glow.
Those are upstairs. I we got a whole bunch of them upstairs. I can go up to the girls' bedroom. There's a whole bunch of them on the upstairs for sure.
Please don't.
Probably wouldn't go well in the living room with mom. Wags can't hear you, brother.
Wags is good at
what a shock. I'm muted.
There you
again.
are.
You look like you're on a green screen and you're wearing all green, and all I can just see is your head and your hands.
And the stars.
Yeah,
Those
because it's the same. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, you have some ideas.
So it's interesting. Like I was hearing Tommy Stretar, right? Like couldn't be any more aligned with what he was saying, right? And it's time for 3 classes, right? And there's my guy Veeks. There's my guy Veeks. I see him. He's on. Love that guy. It's time for 3 classes. And hear me out. The separation is only going to get worse and worse and worse between the top teams in the middle to the bottom, right? It's only getting worse. It's demographics, it's all this stuff, right? It's only getting worse and worse, right? And I understand the traditionals, whatever, but like Stretar said, like it's about growing the game, right? And you tell me, like, and I'm just going to throw 2 teams out there. There's no disrespect, but Morris Benson and Prairie Center play in the section final game. That's good for their towns, right? And all these teams that don't have a chance, that are in 2A, that are the 7, 8 seeds, especially in some of our sections that we're in. Like we're struggling. We're a top 10 team, and we're struggling to make the state tournament, right? And like now you got the 7, 8 seeds, and all of a sudden maybe those kids stay there. Maybe they don't leave. Maybe they don't leave for private schools. And I'm a private school guy, but maybe don't leave for private schools, right? Like I don't see what's wrong with it. And if they say, well, it's bad hockey, then don't watch it. Don't watch it.
That's what I've said all along.
Right?
You don't have to watch it.
You can watch a prep bowl. You don't have to watch 9-man. You don't have to watch it. Nobody's forcing you to watch it. But like, how cool for these kids to play in meaningful games, right? They've been playing hockey their whole lives.
Chris,
right?
Isn't the idea to get kids to play more than 26 games? If you can get to 31 because you go to a state tournament, that's unreal. You just gave 8 more teams that opportunity to play 6 more games.
But I think you gave 60, 70, 80 teams to play meaningful games in the first round.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. And not losing 18-1.
Fairmont doesn't have to play Laverne anymore. It's not 21-0 in the first game.
Right.
Right. Fairmont's now playing Worthington and Wyndham and all these other teams that they should be belong with. And that's what it is, right? It's every class would have like all those teams. There might be a couple teams that just could never compete. It is what it is. But like across the board, like it would be incredible.
Let's get we got to get Vegoe to weigh in here. Gopher Puck Live, Minneapolis legend. I think he's wearing a Hockey Yak jacket. He promised me he would show his Hockey Yak jacket,
Love it.
which I'm happy to see. So Vigs, we got a kind of an unexpected score here. We've been saying good team, bad week. Rogers has dropped a few this week, and now they're in a 1-1 deadlock in the third on senior night. A little scary here in Rochester. So two things. How do you think this game's going to shake out, and what do you think about adding a third class to the state tournament? It's been a big topic tonight. Is that a participation medal, or is it good for the game?
Well, first off, I'm excited to see Rogers here turn it on. You know, my kids that I've been coaching, we've had some big games this year where there's a lot of emotions coming into it, and you get such a high in that. And these are young kids, and they haven't dealt with a lot of that before. And so you get on a stage like this, and it's hard to get into your game and find what works for you. So I think Rogers probably finds it. They've gotten through the first two periods here, and they have a chance to win it in the third. And now in the classes, I am always in the position where you want teams to have to play for something. And you want to have them have a goal at the end of the season that's something that they can achieve. And not getting beat in the first round of the section playoffs for some of these teams in these classes isn't really an option. You know, the difference between the 1 seed and the 8-9 in some of these sections is just too great. And so I think you want to have teams have something to play for at the end of the season. It gives kids motivation. It gets them a little bit involved because they have something to play for. And I'm not a big participation medal guy, but at the same point, you want competitive games. I think if you're looking at a schedule for a team, every coach in the world would love to have 1-goal games their whole season. It makes all your players better.
And the participation medal is it's just not true. No one that you win a football state championship and you're in the 3A, it's not like anybody's rolling their eyes at you and thinks that that's not a achievement. That wears off after the first year. It's the same thing we went through going to 2.
I mean, I've got this perspective of a dream of a 9-man football league in the Metro. Like, we're seeing so many co-ops happen for schools just to be able to put on a football team. Imagine if they had a 9-man. Now, instead of having to have 5 or 6 or 7 220-pound type guys, you just need 2 or 3, and you can make a team work. So I think that would be something that would be really fun to see down the line here.
This Chan goalie, by the way, it's just been great.
Hey, can you see the shots, John, from where you're at? Can you see?
No, it's behind. Oh yeah, it's on. It was just on the screen there when they go. See what we got here.
So he's a transfer from Holy Family. He played at Holy Family last year, and he moved in from California last year. He moved in from California, played for Holy Family last year, and moved at Chan this year.
Got it.
It looks like 34-11 was the shots I just saw. And this is Stefano Carranzo.
Yep,
Is that his name?
That's him. Yep.
One of the Vegoe and Patrick. Here's the best hockey names in tonight's game, sponsored by Duke Cannon. We got some good ones. We got, how about your goalie's name is Wyatt Knott, with 2 T's on both Wyatt and 2 T's on Knott. That feels secure in net, doesn't it? You like that?
Why not?
Exactly. We got a Brock Chaslock. We got a Avenir Blue. And I think besides Stefano Carranzo, we got a Baron Bokuki on Chan as well. So all great names in the hockey universe.
Agreed.
Pat, what would you say the best name or names are on your roster at Holy?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Let me think about that. I'll get back to you on that one.
You don't want to name anybody because everybody wins. Okay, got it. So you're a participation award guy. Got it. Have you watched this game at all?
Yeah, I've been watching since the first period.
What are you thinking? Chan, very structured, not panicking.
Sean's a great coach, and like Tommy Stretar said, he's a good coach. He gets every little bit out of every single guy. Is Duchesne playing for Rogers tonight?
No, he's out. He's
So
out.
he got
He's
hurt
out
against
tonight.
Hill Murray.
Yeah,
He's out, but I don't think it's a bad injury, but he's not playing.
Okay, so last year when Jensen got hurt, Rogers struggled. Duchesne's out now. They're struggling, right? Like,
right.
You know, and they're unbelievable, right? They're loaded. They're loaded, but it seems like when one of those guys are out, the rest of the team struggles. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully Duchesne's back and he's really, really good. Jensen's really, really good, but it's interesting. One of them's out and the team kind of struggles, you know.
We don't take 52 assists off the ledger, right? And they just feed each other so well off each other. And you kind of got the same thing with Lechner and Ayers Assad as well.
And Lincoln Ayers Assad, yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't clicking on all cylinders when Cole was out the first 6 games, and then we got him
one
back.
there.
And
We got one.
Lincoln was out for 5-6 games, and we just weren't clicking. But man, that line right now, oh boy, are they cooking right now? Cole's back to 100%. Lincoln's back to 100%. They are just cooking right now. It's unbelievable. It's
2-1.
goal. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, we had a goal there. You know, to me,
Yeah,
it's like
Mason. That's Jensen right there. Yeah,
that's 2 on the game for him.
Yeah.
One thing I've been noticing about Rogers here at the end of the second, now the start of the third, is how aggressive they are in transition. Like when there is a turnover, they are all activating really quickly, which is always an impressive sign for me to see in a team.
Agreed, Viggs. That's what our first line does too. The same thing, right? They're just we try to play fast, and it's playing fast. You play fast in high school, you're going to score a lot of goals. We played a team last week that just literally stayed in their own zone and just iced it, and our guys were so frustrated. Next night, we played a team that didn't do that in transition. It was 8-0 after the first period. You know, it's these kids, like, they love to play fast, and it's fun when it's clicking for sure.
You guys, how hard do you think it is, though, for these teams? I mean, it all ends on Saturday. It's like, bang, it's here. They know what's ahead of them. I just think it's really hard to stay in the moment, especially if you're trying to do it for the first time. Grizz, your team is in that position. This Rogers team's in that position. You take the Gophers. They're not in that position because they might have a little bit more of a manageable mindset. Can the two of you share kind of both perspectives on that?
Yeah, we have a game tomorrow night, and we've got a section game against Armstrong tomorrow night. They're high school kids, right? And we're just trying to keep them motivated for tomorrow night. We'll worry about sections next week and whatever. But yeah, it's hard, right? They're high school kids, and
right.
And you look at games across the state all year long, right? Like, you don't play well at certain nights, and you're not going to be at your best every night. And it's no different at college. It's no different in the pros, right? I mean, Gophers aren't 9-3 worse than Michigan State, right? But they have a bad night. It happens, right? Look at the pros. They have bad nights, right? Wild's not what they lose 6-7-0 to, Edmonton that one night. They're not 7 goals worse. It happens, right? And then we get on, and then we're riding 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds about having an off night. Like, it is what it is.
100%. Eric, how about the mindset like the Gophers? They're used to being there. They know they got to close out seasons. They got to close out strong. What have you observed from your world of doing that, how teams respond?
Well, one of the things I know the Gophers have done the last couple of years is Paul Martin and Cal Dietz have organized a leadership group at the University of Minnesota, and they have talked a lot with the guys about the right mindset during a season. And one of the big challenges for these athletes with this microscope is the fear of failure and the fear of judgment. And if you are worried so much about the outcome of what's going to happen at each moment, each game, you can let that drain on you and you can get frustrated. So what they've really done is focus on guys controlling what you can control, staying in the moment, and trusting that you put in the work and you can execute when it comes down to the end. Because I've seen Gopher teams in the last decade where they get in these situations and you can just see the frustration build in them, and it takes away from their play. And you can see them take it out on sticks and on the ice and on the boards, and you can't do that. It's wasted energy.
3-1, boys.
3-1. That's ball game.
That was a second chance goal down around the goal mouth area there. Nice backhand. Eric, that's really really interesting because I think sometimes you can wish for the result, scare yourself away from the result, but it's really hard. It's easier said than done. So it's great that they've recognized that and they're taking the time to do it.
Yeah, it's very intentional. I don't think any of this stuff just happens by accident. You can maybe get lucky and get a good outcome, but if you want to have continued success in big events, you have to take the time and prepare your players with that kind of armor to get through a season. Especially playing at Minnesota, there's so many eyes on you. There's so many people in your ear. You have to kind of tune that out and focus on what you're doing and prepare for it.
Eric, quick on-air production meeting for you. Or I'm sorry, John, quick on-air production meeting for you here. Are we going to get a trivia video or no? Is that in the cards tonight?
Yeah, I think she already has it. That might not be a bad thing to show right now. And
that's where I'm going. Ella, can you roll that?
Chanhassen question. You guys are the Storm, right? Yeah. All right. When a storm is approaching you, how do you know how far away the storm is?
It's a certain amount of time after lightning strikes.
Yeah. Between the thunder and the lightning, you gotta wait. You count the seconds. You divide by 5. Yeah. And this one should be an easy one. All right. How many state high school tournament appearances does Chanhassen have?
1.
You got it. When was it? When was it for bonus point?
Last year.
There we go. Okay, good. I was a little worried there for a second. Had some help. You got it. What are you going to spend your gift card on? And you don't get to say I don't know.
Probably some chips.
Chips? What kind of chips? What kind of chips?
Sour cream and onion.
All right. What kind of chips you going for?
Sour cream and onion.
So, you guys are the Royals, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This one's kind of tricky, so I apologize. How many countries in the world are ruled by royal families?
3.
That's definitely not it.
Is it more or less?
It's way more.
21.
Way more.
48.
43. So you're within 5. You get it. And what are you gonna spend on that gift card?
Donuts.
Donuts. All right. What kind of donuts?
Like
frosted?
really long ones with like the frost.
The long johns.
Yeah.
Got it. What Rogers alum currently plays in the NHL for the Ottawa Senators?
Nick Jensen.
You got it, Jensen. Gift card. And what are you spending on your gift card?
Probably some donuts.
Yeah.
Donuts is a popular answer?
Yeah.
What kind of donuts are you going for?
Probably white long john.
All right. How about you?
Chocolate sprinkled.
I love it.
There we go. Well done once again.
Hey, Pat, can we pop Vegoe back in here too? So that's got to be encouraging, Pat, as a high school coach, that everybody that ever wins Cub trivia is buying candy, donuts, long johns. I mean, this is the same kids that you need to train to run through a wall, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started. Don't get me started, John. Oh. We had the first year.
What would you
I
get at
took over. Here's a funny story. First year I took over at Hill Angels. We're up in St. Cloud. I'm not going to name names. We're up in St. Cloud. We're playing the St. Cloud tournament and trying to clean up some stuff. And pre-game, one kid's eating literally a bag of mini donuts. This is like an hour, a little over an hour before we go out. We had just stretched out. Kids or whatever. One kid's eating a mini donuts. Another kid has a hot dog and chips and just chowing it before a game. I'm like, boy, we got a lot of things to change around here. I just lost my mind, but I'm like, what in your mindset is that a good idea to be doing that? You know. Of course, then we got to.
It worked for Phil Kessel.
Oh. Well, I suppose did he light it up for 6 points too?
We lost 6-2. Yeah, we lost 6-2. Yeah, we lost 6-2.
Well, maybe he had 2 points. I'm just saying.
No,
it's pretty tough.
No, he didn't have any.
Oh, okay. Worth the question there.
Hey, Pat, do you own a Griswold Blackhawks jersey? Is that something that you have to do when you're at Griswold?
Darn right it is. It's every New Year's Eve. I only wear it one time a year, and then I go get it dry cleaned, and I wear it every New Year's Eve at my in-laws. and I wear it all day, and then I take it off, and then I go to my parents, and then I put it back on, and I wear it for 4 or 5 hours at my parents, and then it's back in the closet.
Wow. I can't tell if you're joking and.
No, I'm dead serious.
He's dead serious.
I'm 100% dead serious.
Grizz is all about it.
No,
What's
no,
with
I
the
actually
dry-
have.
you
I
dry
actually
clean
have. I actually, my daughters, they've grown out of them, but my brother bought Griswold 00 Blackhawk jerseys for them to wear. But no, I'm dead serious. Go to my Facebook and go to Christmas, and you'll see it every year. I post it every year.
What's with the dry cleaning? Is that seems excessive?
Well, it's a
Why
nice,
do you need-
nice jersey. You got to make that thing look pristine, right?
Yeah, you can't pound those
Look
numbers.
good, feel
into-
good. Look
you
good, feel
cannot
good, John.
You can't pound the numbers into submission.
No,
You
look
got to
good, feel
keep it
good.
in one piece.
I'm not going to throw it in the washer and dryer. Like, we got to make that thing look pristine. So, look good,
Vegoe,
feel
you're
good, John.
coaching. You're coaching too. How are your seasons coming to an end? Do you like how's the squad wrapping things up? You feel good about the end of the year?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Oh, good.
My 10U team has made huge progress over the year. We had a bunch of girls who, it was like their first time playing hockey. And so integrating that team has been a lot of fun. And we just had a big 4-0 win in New Richmond tonight. So that was fun to see the girls. Our goalie got her first shutout ever. That was a blast. My Pee Wee team, we've got a couple kids who are late to hockey as well. So continuing to see them progress has been a lot of fun. We got to play in a Minnesota Wild Spotlight game, which is great. Wes Walls was my celebrity coach for that. We got to play in the Mayor's Cup, and I got to coach next to Jordan Leopold for that one. So the kids have had just a really special year, and both of them were just both days were fantastic for them. And it's fun to see them out on the rinks here at Wyndham Park Northeast, which we had to fight to keep in the Minneapolis Park Board budget this year. And it's been a great winter for outdoor hockey. So I've seen a lot of them across the street all winter.
Yeah, that was a huge deal, saving that Wyndham Park. I think Mike Snee was involved with that too, and I know that's a feather in his cap as well. So kudos on saving the sheet.
Yeah, Minneapolis Park Board hockey is a hidden gem. You can play, 10 games and get 20 practices for like $100 in Minneapolis. If you're a non-resident, It's $150. That's just a great part of Minnesota hockey. And I think it'd be really cool to see that Skate It Forward program take off, where we can get kids into hockey, at no expense at first, and just show them the love of the game.
Pat, now we talked 3A or 3-class system. How do you implement that? How do you roll it out?
So it's 3 classes. The top class is 32 teams, right? So you're going to have teams that opt up. If teams want to move down and they're in the lower half of the enrollment, right, they can go to 2A. Okay, so you have 30, just like football, right? So you have 32 teams. Then you've got, so there's 141 teams, so that's 30. So you're down to 110 teams, right? Then you got 50, 60 in each class, right? For 3A, we'll just start at 3A. 3A, you have, and people are like, well, how do you travel 1 versus 32? How do you go from Moorhead to the cities and they travel? It's not fair for teams, whatever. What you do is you have 8 regions, right? And it's a Friday, Saturday affair. And there's 4 teams in each one, right? So you've got the Bemidji State region. You've got the DEC region, or not DEC, Amsoil. You've got St. Cloud State. You've got Mankato. Like, put them up at Mariucci. And then you're probably going to have to jump into Braemar, Elk River, maybe Aldrich, whatever, right? So you start with the 5 D1 teams, and then, or 4, 5, right? 5 D1 teams. And then you got 3 other big rinks, right? And then you rank them, right? 1 to 32, right? And they all are there. It's a Friday night game, right? So you got a 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock game, whatever, 5, 8, whatever it is, right? Who cares about the times? And then Saturday, right? Saturday is then the 16 teams. And the winner of each region is your 8 state tournament teams.
So it's sort of a hybrid NCAA thing.
Not that you've thought about it.
Oh, I've thought about it, John. Yeah, for sure. Now, now you go down to the next level, right? Okay, so then you've got the next level of teams, and you've got, say and then you go the traditional 8 sections, and then you go by geography or whatever, and then you got 1A that has their teams too, right? And if it's just like girls hockey, right? In Class A, if you got 5, 6, 7 teams in a section, fine, it is what it is, right? You just don't have enough there, but then you play it out, and then those teams.
Is this in your head, Pat? Is this in your head, or do you have it on paper?
I can put it on paper, but it's in my head, yeah, for sure.
Well,
but and it's just like, okay, so my question is why is every other sport in the States has multiple classes, more than 2 classes, except for
more teams
hockey,
probably. That's only
girls hockey, right? Because it's all the traditionalists that think, it's just water down the game. No, it's not going to water down the game. It's not going to water down the game. It just bugs me when I hear that. I think it only grows the game. And try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like you said earlier, the Lavernes and all these teams, right? It's grown hockey in those areas. The Jackson Nelsons and Chas Mezzards from Laverne and Brody Lamb and all these guys, right? Brody Lamb stayed at there. Jackson Nelson stayed in Laverne, right? Because they had options, right? And they're not leaving for AAA. They're staying there. I'm telling you, it's only going to grow the game. And the drop off, I'm telling you, in 10 years, it's only going to get worse and worse between the top 15, 20 teams and then the next 15 to 20 teams, right? It just is.
You're saying there's going to be a legit definitive line of, okay, these are all contenders?
It already is. It already is. I think it's only going to get worse.
Sure. The one thing I'll say on the 2-class deal, been in the X and Civic Center covering it forever and kind of watched it evolve. And over the past each year, it seems, when you see a Class A semifinal round Friday where the lower bowl is full, the suites are full, the club level's full, and there's a bunch of people in the upper deck.
There's 14,000 people.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
When it first started, the growth of it, here's what I say. I'll do a Squirt C game play-by-play as long as the 2 teams are well matched all day long, because it's awesome. If you have well-matched teams, forget about the quality. If they're well-matched, it's worth reporting on. It's fun to watch, and it all takes care of itself. But it's been fun for me to watch that grow.
Yep.
It could do the same thing for the class.
All these teams that are just take 2A, right? All these teams that are 6, 7, 8 seeds, that are 8, 9, 10 seeds, right? 6 to 10 in some of these sections are never going to have a chance. Now they're all going to be in one class together, and they'll all have a chance to go to the state tournament. And maybe they won't go to private schools, and maybe they will stay at their schools. And I don't want to name names, right? But maybe they'll stay where they're at because they think you have a better chance there than they have this other school, or whatever. Maybe they don't go to AAA. But at the end of the day, it's going to grow hockey in all these smaller communities and these teams that don't think they have a chance of going. I just truly believe it, And Tommy Stretar couldn't be any more right. That guy is perfect. Exactly what I'm thinking. I'm watching. I'm like, Tom, we're on the same boat, bud. It's about growing the game, and going 2 classes has grown the game. It just has.
And I think especially hockey is one of those sports where you want to have players playing for as long as they can, because it's a long-term athlete development sport. You want to keep them engaged. And everything I'm hearing about college hockey says that college hockey is going to get older and older and older. So it's going to be really hard to leave school early. Even if you go play in the NHL or the USHL or CHL, you're not going to get a spot at 18 unless you're an exceptional player. Most kids are going to
first-round pick, Veeks, right? Who's just going to be gone in a year or two. So.
And even that, you got to be a really good first-round pick to be successful in the Big Ten.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So I think you want to keep those kids in high school as long as you can, and dividing up the classes as much as you can for these tournaments to give kids something to play for. I think it makes so much sense.
Yep.
Well, hey, Wag, should we put a bow on this thing? We got about 30 seconds left. The lobby's going to be full. I want to thank Mr. Griswold and Vegoe for joining us, all of our guests, Hockey Yak, Cub, Duke Cannon, Live Barn, Pulltab Sports. This was a fun experiment. I think it's only going to get bigger as we try to bring college game day and Manning cast to high school hockey, baby. So thanks for being here. Congrats to Rogers on their big senior night win after gripping the stick a little bit tight. And we're just getting to the good part. So thanks everybody for tuning in and being a part of this. Wags, thanks for doing this with us and bringing this crazy app to us.
It's been a blast. This crazy app's been awesome. Thank you to Mark Williams and his team at React2 that's made it work for us, along with Ella Henches, who's been here each and every week pushing the buttons to make it look good and come together. So I can't believe it's been 6 weeks of this, John. That goes so dang fast. It's just like game over, you know?
I gave you a cold 5 weeks ago, but your immune system is so weak, and
it
you're
is.
run to the litter. I mean, you got to live in a safe house like Griswold with the. This is the Jodie Foster safe room.
I need the dungeon. That thing is unbelievable.
You guys got to be careful out there. Motzko's been sick for a month. Paul Martin missed practice all last week with his cold that he's been battling. It's tough out there.
Yeah, Viggs, it's been 4.5 weeks for me, and like you'll have like a 4-hour run where you're like going, I'm turning the corner, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're worse than you were, you know. So it's like a lot of people have this, whatever it is. So I have a buddy that sent me a picture, same bit. He's in the hospital because he can't breathe. I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
I had nothing to do with that. Well, thank you guys, and
patient zero.
Let's go.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Appreciate it.
Tuesday Night Lights out.